All right, let's move on to Sony because there was some significant Sony news this week. First of all, you had already mentioned that God of War is being delayed till next year, but I think the bigger news was a lot of people were surprised by the fact that all of these big PS5 games are actually also PS4 games. Gran Turismo, God of War, Horizon. I guess those are the big three.
Those are three big games.
Yes, those are three big games.
And I think the main thing is that like Sony kind of poo-pooed Microsoft for saying that they were going to be having cross-generational games for a while.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, there was the I believe in generations remark from Jim Ryan that was kind of like it was a follow-on to Microsoft saying that like for the first year or so that games would be cross-generational and you could play them on both.
And his counter was I believe in generations. What does that even mean?
That they would be making PS5 exclusive games is how that would be taken, I would assume.
Right, but I mean, that's not really what he believes in. He believes in making money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one thing.
I can't fault him for this. Like, I'm not upset about anything about this situation.
Why are you so upset about this, Shipwreck?
I don't know. I have both a PS4 and a PS5.
Why are you so upset?
Gran Turismo 7's a weird one, right? Because that one's one that you're like, oh, PlayStation 4 for that still, huh? Like, you guys haven't been working on Gran Turismo 7?
Is that still a thing? I mean, and obviously it's still a thing. But
they still sell extremely well.
Do they? I'm like, do people still care about Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
Sure.
They do.
It's got the cars, Wombat.
I understand it.
You can make cool looking commercials.
I know.
They're going to drop a car down into your house during virtual E3.
I would register for E3 if that was going to happen. Well, maybe not my house. I would download a car though. So yeah, people are upset. I guess
it's going to be better to play them on PS5, right?
Of course, and these days,
that's the point.
And these days, there can be really significant differences, and I feel like they can design the games to run on both, and still people playing on the newer platform can get a big upgrade.
It's about install base though, and as long as there aren't enough PS5s to go around, they're not going to be releasing this PS5 only.
Of course, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, they didn't intend to at any point. This isn't a decision about install base.
No, they made the decision last week. I was in the room.
Turn off the ray tracing, guys. Oh, now it works on the PS4.
Right.
Go with that.
Exactly.
Guys, I got an idea. What about Gran Turismo 7, but on the PS4?
Give the cars 3 wheels. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. They don't need windows. It'll be fine. The kids don't care. Yeah. By the way, that's the actual voice of the CEO of Sony.
I thought he was Japanese.
Yeah, that was my Japanese.
Oh.
That was Japanese. Yeah. Hey guys, who wants the sushi after this? On me, Mr. Sony, CEO. I got the Gran Turismo 7.
We need to work on that accent.
I think it's perfect.
These other games too, they're probably built on top of engines because they're sequels to PS4 games, right? So they probably started there to begin with. I don't know that for a fact, but that would be my guess.
Isn't everything done on computers now anyway?
No, nothing.
Oh.
What if it's the God of War, but we just make them like a Guy of War? Then that'll work on the PS4, right? Guy of War.
All right, let's move on to Nintendo.
It does suck that it's 2022 now, though.
That's a problem.
Like, can we have some games? Like, anybody got any games? I'm excited for Ratchet and Clank.
When's that?
That's
soon,
soon, like
week, right?
8 days, something like that. That'll be a fun one.
Sure.
I'm
Let me
looking
know.
forward. I mean, I'm looking forward to playing it with my kids. Like,
sure.
I'm not a huge Ratchet and Clank enthusiast.
I believe I've completed every single one.
I am no wombat. But they're good fun games. I find them a little bit light in the
pants.
Yes. Exactly.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to Nintendo. We've got a Whip Smart Spank Banky new game, Hentai versus Evil. He says, this is a fun one. Band guys have captured your fellow anime waifus and put them in cages, and it's up to you to take off your shirt. Grab some guns and shoot your way through the zombie hordes and rescue them. That's it. That's the story. He says, arcadey third-person shooter, very basic hair, is relaxing, familiar. Survival mode, hot rating for the week. They're too sexy, these games on Switch. I don't get it. I don't understand why the Switch has become the console of the porn games, but here we are. And next week, he's going to be reviewing Fun Bag Fantasy 3. So stay tuned for that.
Are they going to put out this Switch Pro soon?
So you can get these games in higher resolution?
Well, that and Dash has been using my Nintendo Switch.
Oh.
And by using it, I mean, it ends up hitting the floor a lot. So it's starting to break apart.
Right.
So I'm really hoping that's speeding up the process through the Switch Pro.
Right. Oh, there's an announcement coming soon. There was some.
Well, they announced that it was all going to be about Switch games.
Oh.
And Nintendo doesn't play around. When they say that, that's generally, they mean that. It's not like, oh, and one more thing, here's the Switch Pro. It's usually like, no, we really meant that we were going to talk about Nintendo Switch games, including not talking about Metroid.
Wait, Banky says that game is full topless? The hell? Oh, uncensored naked boobies, he says. Hentai versus evil. Good job, Nintendo. When is the Fox News story going to happen about that? It's just a matter of time.
Nobody cares anymore.
They don't? I feel like, people like to pretend they care, though.
Sure.
All right, let's move on to the Apple Orchard, Shipwreck, because you convinced me to sign up for my Apple Arcade trial.
Yes. Let's talk some Song Pop Party. We played some of it against each other. We had fun.
I played a lot of it, but the appeal to the game is limited, I have to say, as a song quiz. What's that? You agree?
I played a lot of it too. Yeah, and it's got a very good first 2 days.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, I wish there was more to this.
I wish I could see my record of my win-loss record, because I feel like I'm winning a lot.
I am too.
And I would like to see that.
Right. I think they'll add that stuff. I'm going to guess they're going to add features like that in. What it is it's a music trivia game where you pick a song list, let's say 90s one-hit wonders. And you play against 3 other people, and it's 10 questions. It plays a 10-second clip of the song, and you answer from 4 answers. And the quicker you do that, and the more you get right, the more you win, more points you get. And all 3 of us are more than adequate at this game.
It's a nice way of putting it.
We all have our different categories that we do.
Yeah, but even the categories that we know better than others, the other 2 of us are still scoring very well on this.
Yeah, there was that one game where the ship beat me by 6 points or whatever the heck it was.
Right. It really comes down to how quick we can answer, not do we know the answers to these.
Which is very different than when I played against the randos and I got 860 points and the next highest score was 400 points.
Yeah. It's got enough game structure into it in that you're unlocking different playlists and you can kind of use those, but it needs a little bit more to it to have staying power.
Yes. I need to see what my hot streak is. I need more shit to unlock. I need more.
You need to be able to play the different genres against each other too. If I'm playing 90s grunge, I need to also the person playing against me, because it randomizes between the 4 people playing, which
4 people
picks.
each person gets to choose their own genre.
But it's not mixing 1960s music in with grunge, which I think would be more exciting for me.
That would definitely be more of a challenge.
Right. Because I don't know. We all have a lot of musical knowledge. Although I have a hole in the 2010 to 2020 hard rock and metal category. I found that one gives me problems. I'm just guessing.
How are you in the bass house category?
I'm probably fine.
Really?
I find that I'm fine in most of these categories.
Even in bass house?
I don't know. I'll try bass house. I'll give it a go. The nice thing, like it ties into Apple Music though too, so you can see what songs were on the playlist you just played through,
Yeah.
and you can like add them to your library in Apple Music.
Oh, I
and-
don't have Apple Music, so
Yeah, but you can at least see them on the store and see like, oh, okay, I kind of like that song. Let me see what that is.
Right.